Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the summit. Tonight, we turn our heads to one of the most important forces shaping our country's future and present. It's the youth. Now, across the country and the continent, young people are not only demanding a seat at the table, they are also trying to build one of their own. And they are leading businesses, they're influencing policy, they're driving so much change and redefining what leadership looks like in today's world and society. So this evening, we're going to be able to explore youth empowerment, leadership, and the role of the youth in decision-making, while also tackling one of the most urgent challenges of our time, youth unemployment. How do we move from potential to power is the question we're going to try to be able to answer today. From ideas to impact and from participation to real influence. Now, to help us unpack this, I'm joined by three guests who are deeply invested in unlocking youth leadership and opportunities that are presented to us, but also those that we can be able to find for ourselves. So I'll start off with you, Mr. Cyrus Musi. He is the CEO of Governance for Africa, who works at the intersection of democratic governance, leadership, and youth participation. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and I'm also with Uena Mutesi, a youth advisor and resource mobilizer, engaged in global partnerships, mentorship, and initiatives supporting young people to rise into leadership and purpose. You're welcome, Uena.
Thank you very much, Martina.
Yes, and last but not least, I am also with Mr. Derek Iradukunda, CEO of Uburiza Solutions, a youth-driven company bridging the gap between education, digital skills, and entrepreneurship. You're all welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So I would like to welcome you all once again to the conversation that we're going to be partaking in. And let's dive in. So I'll start off with you, Mr. Cyrus. So first of all, let's talk governance of Africa. Please tell us about that to begin with and what drives its work, particularly when it comes to young people.
Thank you so much, Martina, and thanks to RBA for inviting us. First of all, I think before diving in with what Governance for Africa does, we are talking about the youth. I think what are we talking about? When we are talking about the youth, we are talking about the leaders of today, the leaders of tomorrow. We are talking about the mighty youth in RDF and the Rwanda police. We are talking about young entrepreneurs in the private sector. We are talking about young people in social services, in civil society. We are talking about leaders in different sectors. And we're also talking about thieves in our communities. So this is very diverse. So what drives Governance for Africa? First of all, we envision a democratic, peaceful, and empowered African society. But with young people, we focus on empowerment, youth empowerment, knowledge transfer, and inclusive participation. Information dissemination is a fundamental objective because we believe before acting, you need to be informed. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. And when it comes to young people in particular, what made this a core focus in terms of being able to tackle the issues that the youth are facing currently in various areas, either leadership or empowerment, or helping them find a voice and also helping them be able to tap into various potentials that are out there in the world?
Thank you so much. Before I go out to the continent or the world, let me start with Rwanda. What is very important is that youth, there need to be a conducive environment, I mean the political will. If our governments are really in position to welcome, to sit, dine, plan, and implement together with young people, then also there need to be to create platforms for young people, platforms for creation, innovations, where young people can share ideas, because you find they pursue different different sectors, but also not forgetting even young people who don't go to school. If we are talking about inclusive participation, there are those who never had a chance to go to school. So how do we reduce the rural-urban migration? How do we create agriculture incubators? How do we talk to microfinance and SACCOs in districts to avail small grants for these young people, because Rwanda is a decentralized form of government where all the groups work in associations. So how do we put them together? How do we talk to them? And how do we talk to leaders to finance people so that they can access some finance? But also empowerment and education. We believe civic education is very important. We have a National Editorial Commission, but again, we believe with our background. In Rwanda, actually, many young people with our background, our parents, never had the chance to go to school. Those who were here before 1994, because maybe of the governance that was existing, some never had a chance to go to school. Of course, we can tell by the number of graduates when the current government started leading the country in 1994. Then also, you see, even others who were refugees never had the chance also because of we are traveling here and there. So it's the current young people, it's the current youth that had the chance to go to school because of a conducive environment. Then also digital engagement. I think we are together with a young person here that because the global movement where we are heading, I think without engaging young people through these platforms, because you can, as we are seated here, many people are watching RBA, but if you are going to invite them to come, it will be very hard someone to come from Butare, Rusizi, there is time, there is transport, accommodation. It's really, it's not easy, but with these platforms that do exist, it's very easy to disseminate the information to different people. Then also political inclusion, leaving no one behind. Boys, girls, when we are talking about actually youth, the African Union talks about youth and students, because there are those in corporate world, those that are working, finished school, and also there's a very big number that are still at the university. So, but also there are other young people with a disability. There are other people that never had the chance to go to school. When we are talking about youth, we are also talking teenage mothers. We are talking orphans. We are talking people that are homeless. So I think this is inclusive participation is very important. And then the last one is creating economic opportunities. How do we have some incentives for these young people to encourage them to work? How do we swipe off some of the high taxes to enable this person to continue business? So because some years back, an investor will come to Rwanda, it's very good, and you find they're having these incentives because they have come, maybe someone is investing in Rwanda, is coming with $50 million, but forgetting a young person who is starting with 350 Rwandan francs. And this low-income earner, if is not promoted, then is going to cause more problems, more challenges for the country.
Yeah, thank you very much. And over to you, Yuena. Your work spans through youth advisory, mentorship, and global partnerships.
Yeah.
First of all, could you tell us more about that, as well as what inspired you to focus your career on youth empowerment as a fellow youth?
Yeah, well, thank you. To start with, my domain is I'm a cardiac technologist. I'm in a medical personnel.
Cardiac technologist.
Yes, yeah, that's my domain. And I studied in India for 5 years. But when I came back home, I was like, I want to do something that is tangible, because I've been moving around and I've seen the effects and the opportunities that most youth are being given. So when I came back here, it took me like 2 months to first learn and see what's the difference between I and other youth who are here. Everywhere I would go, someone would say, but you look different, the way you speak, you can stand forth and speak. Even being here, I'm sure some people can't do that. So from that, I was like, okay, then that means there's a problem in my society. And if I have the ability of changing that, then I have to push myself out. And then I started working as a youth advisor, doing the mentorship and training. But it doesn't end only on mentorship and training, because after you mentor the youth, what happens? Because if I train you today and tomorrow and I leave you there, you're going back to where you came from, you're going back to zero. That's when I came in with the resource mobilization, using the available resources. Sometimes we don't need big amount of money to start something. Start with what you have in your community. We are coming from different cities, we are coming from different places. You can have some problem in your community that you're seeing and find a solution for it, which doesn't require a lot of money. But most of youth, the mindset they have, I need to start big. I'm thinking of starting an organization now, will need like 1.5, 2, 3, 5 or 10, name it, any amount they want to start with. But they don't know like you can use the resources that you have to make something big. Every person that we are seeing right now, they had a foundation they started with. So I started training them how they can use the resources they're having to grow themselves. You can start farming at home. We are utilizing the space that we have. If you're having a big house, you can have some farming activities that you're doing. Then from there you expand. You start selling small things that you can do. I mean, you can do, like, for example, sometimes if someone sees me maybe selling mandas, like, how come someone like you're doing that? I am trying to utilize the resources I'm having. So, and then global partnership is, I'm trying to bring forth partners. I believe much in collaboration and partnership, because nothing can be done on yourself as even if it's an organization, you need partners to help up the vision that you have. So when it comes to global partnership, that's why you can see I'm partnering with Governance for Africa. I met Mr. Derek here too. Why? They all have something that is related to youth. And I need to learn everything, because I'm dealing with youth of different categories. Someone might be interested in politics, someone might be interested in engineering, someone might be interested in any area. So I have to be having a mindset and knowing I have to interact myself with those kind of people. So when I'm done doing my mentorship and trainings, and then give them ideas on how they can move around, Mr. Cyrus, do you have anything that you can do to someone, any position available? Oh, yeah. I mean, through all those kind of situations that you go through, not every youth is going to show up with the same mindset. So that's why I was like, no, we cannot move forward if our mind is corrupt. So that was the first thing I started doing. And that's why you see me moving from universities, organizations, governments. Why? I am trying to connect, and I'm trying to learn from them, to see the bridge from the universities towards the market, what's there and what's needed for us to change. Yeah.
That's really inspiring, and to see that you chose a different path from what you even studied, it means you have a passion. And if we could also talk about the mentorship part of what you do. Mentorship is a culture that is slowly growing here in Rwanda, but people don't quite understand the significance or the relevance of it, and having someone that you look up to professionally, and having that professional relationship with them, so that in the future you can be able to take what you've learned from them, but also even be able to mentor someone in the future. Why do you think mentorship is something that really should be considered in this country, especially for youth as they're trying to tap into that professional world?
Yeah, mentorship you can't start something if someone has the mindset that is corrupt. When you do mentorship, that means I'm washing away the ideas, or I'm washing away the mentality that you have that's affecting you to do something that you're doing right now. If I find someone complaining and saying, I am poor, because they will be, their mentality is, I am poor because of my family, I am poor because, I never came from a rich family, I am poor because they already have something they're trying to pinpoint why they are there. So why I try to mentor them is to change. They have to see the reality we are in right now, because if I never came from a rich family, it doesn't mean I shouldn't be rich, I shouldn't be limited. Just because my mother was poor, just because my mother never went to school, doesn't mean I shouldn't go to school. No, we are changing, and you can see technology and digital things are happening right now. So mentorship is the root of everything, and that's something we should start with. I cannot give you resources if you cannot run them. I'm just, and there's most people, and I always tell the youth, I'm just also beginning. I just started last year. So I'm also trying to create a platform for them to understand that and pitch in an organization that, yes, you have resources. You want to empower these youth, but you're giving resources to them, but they can't manage them. You're exploiting them. You're giving someone 1M when he's having a mindset of 500K. So you see, like, you're going to end up wasting the resources. Kandi, there are people who are there that would love to use the resources you have. So mindset is something that is very important, and that's why I am always open for organizations to pitch in with them and cooperate with them. We start training these youth. Another thing is, most youth, once they grow, and I've gone to school, maybe I've studied at LAU, so I have a mentality, I can do anything on myself. No. You need to have a mentor. Why? Because that's where you source the information. If you are having a wrong information, you can never grow. That kind of information that you're having today, it's going to reflect what you're going to be tomorrow. So if I'm being mentored by wrong people, of course, I'll have a wrong perception of things. That's why I'm always telling them, keep yourself connected to your mentor, because even if you reach a point where you can self-sustain yourself, but still have a source where you're draining your knowledge, because that person who mentored you to be where you are today, you can go through a situation and still be there to help you come out. But most of the time, if you go to universities, I was in University of Kigali, and I tried asking students, I want to be a CEO. You just graduated, you want to be a CEO. Well, it's good, your vision is right. But then what do you have? What have you set yourself to reach to the point where you are? Who are you watching? What are you watching? What are you listening? What's going to make you become a CEO? Well, if I get money. People think money is an issue. Money is never an issue. Because money is mind. As long as your mind thinks, money comes. I can be, you see, if you wake up in the morning, you switch on the light, there's money you have to pay. Water, there's money you have to pay. Everything is plotting your money. Whose money are you plotting? When you wake up in the morning, whose money are you plotting? So they think like money has to come somewhere, and that's why we have to change their mindset. And I always call out upon different organizations, even the government, we can have that kept aside, pushing forward mentorship. When we change the mindset of the youth in this country, a lot of things are going to change, because it's not like resources. I always tell them it's not like in this country there are no resources. A lot of them, even if I go study abroad, I'm going to make it in life. They end up going outside the country. Their life is very expensive. The rent you pay there is different that you pay here, and then you find yourself spending more. That leads you to work like 3 to 5 jobs, in which if you'd be in your country, you would have done exactly. So that's the mentality they're having. And I don't like starting with, I have a project, I want to run this. I first look into what your vision is. Did you have a purpose? Because when you have also a purpose, it keeps you in cause. You don't come for anything. Right now, I might see other opportunities coming towards me. I won't go for them because my purpose is to help the youth in my country and all over the world. I keep it in a global way. That's why we can partner with other countries, because you can see most of the problems that we have here in Rwanda, it's similar to other countries. So how have they overcome something? How have they found the solution with us? That's why we have to have collaboration, and that's that's what I always tell the organization. Collaboration is more important.
Yes, and one thing that you said, which is very important, is you never stop learning. And so, as much as you have gained so much knowledge from an institution, from college, university, your workplace, if you have someone to always bounce back ideas from, it's key.
Yeah.
So over to you, Mr. Derek. Take us through the story of Uburiza Solutions. First of all, what it stands for, as well as what gap were you trying to solve when you started the company?
Thank you so much, and thank you, RBA, for the invite. Firstly, thanks to Jackie for emphasizing on the mindset thing, because the mindset, it's the one that also helped me to be able to create Uburiza Solutions. I had no money, I didn't set aside some money to start a business. I just had the right skills to firstly create my social media accounts, be able to post different services that we do provide. And after like 1 month, someone DM'd us and was interested in what we were doing. And I said that this can be serious, and from that time we took it serious. So with the solutions, what we do we are a digital solutions company. We do have solutions for businesses, and we are into youth empowerment, training youth through entrepreneurship, digital skills, and productivity tools. Mainly the gap we are trying to solve, we found that yes, as youth, many of us are educated, but what we're studying, all the modules what we get in school are not needed on the job market. So what we're doing is to make it more practical, making it more practical. Like if you're taking a certain module, just to try your best to put it in practice, or drive it so that you can make an impact. Yeah, for me, I'm pursuing project management, and it's really helped me to put different projects in place, like this in education, trainings. So mostly that's what we're doing, to try to bridge that gap between education and the market, what's needed on the market. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Back to you, Mr. Cyrus. First of all, the government of Rwanda has done so much in terms of helping youth tap into situations or positions where they can be able to make decisions, helping them enter positions of power. And we see this through the parliament, we see this through various leadership positions of either companies, government entities, or even the private. However, many young people still feel excluded from decision-making spaces. From your experience, what are the biggest barriers preventing youth from meaningfully participating in policy and governance processes?
Thank you so much. I think the barriers, I'll say in Rwanda we don't have, I'll say 3, but in Rwanda we have opportunity that we have an opportunity of having one which is very crucial, and that is political will. First of all, I think the young people, they need to change their mindset because they have a tendency of thinking about going to school after graduation, looking for a job. And I'm telling you, all backward countries are these people that have really a lot of numbers that work in the offices. We need to have job creators than really job thinkers. And you know, there's a lot of rhetoric for young people, talking a lot minus working a lot. They need to change their mind. Of course, one is a political will that we really have, but also I'm looking at youth participation in policy formulation, because we have countries that move or drive, and the wheels are the laws. So we need to have policies that are youth-friendly. But also, young people, I caution them that to read hard and really to do research. Because it's like you're demanding something. It's a loan you demand from someone. We need this, we need this. So why don't you claim it? Why don't you go for it? So we need policies that are youth-friendly. For example, I'll ask you, Martina, or anyone here, even young people that lead the National Youth Council, if you can surprise one, not of course all, tell me what is embedded in the National Youth Policy. Some of them don't know. And all the youth rights are embedded in there. You can't ask a young person, do you know anything about the African Youth Charter? All of youth opportunities, doing business across the continent are embedded in there. So young people need to stop complaining too much and really do research and be very resilient and do something and do research, go for them. And I think the policies here, we do consultations for our laws. You know, we have sector councils, Njanama, the advisory councils at the district, at the sector. So, and the young people are represented in those sectors. So they should be giving their views. But stop moving bars or in those gangs, partying, it's good. It's also a sign of development. Then you see, we need to be given this. You need to look for it. Then also, I think what needs to be done, capacity building and mentorship, as you are talking about. First of all, being patriotic, it's not being political. Being patriotic is being proud of who you are. So first of all, we need young people that know the background and the vision of this country. And the vision of this country, it's young people that are benefiting. Most of the elders will not be there. So it's up to them to work very hard, to go for it, because policies are open. The challenge is that young people are not open to read and to know, what do I have to do? What is my role? You need to have part. You need to be part of what is happening. So then also the governments need to create a conducive market. For example, now I'm going into agricultural produce for young people. You know, when we are talking about youth, we go digital, yes, but a big number never went to school. So we don't forget also the youth in agriculture. So do they have market? Is it accessible? Do they know the opportunities that are there? For example, some of the things that we do, and I think with Jackish is helping our organization, is creating platforms for young people where different ambassadors talk to young people and engage them and show them the opportunities that are in their countries. And there are many investors that come through RDB, Rwanda Development Board, that may really be happy, may need to work with these young people. So how do we connect to them? But how do young people also position themselves? So I think creating market for them and having youth friendly policies that enables them to participate, to engage, to give their views. And I think the government have really provided those platforms, but it's up to young people to not wait for the government to come and give them on a silver plate.
Thank you for that. Back to you, Yona. From your experience, you have worked with various youth. You might not have done it for quite some time, but you already have an idea of the current challenges that they face. What are the most common challenges young people face beyond unemployment? This could be emotionally, socially, and even professionally as they're trying to navigate the professional world.
So I would say the same thing. It always starts with platform. Most of the time, yeah, we might say youth don't show up the way Mr. Cyrus was saying. There are platforms, I mean, opportunities that are being given to youth. But sometimes it's about platforms. There are a lot of youth who have an idea of doing something. Maybe they have a project, maybe they want to solve a problem somewhere. I can even start it by myself. The first challenge that I faced was platform. How am I going to make my ideas, how am I going to make my mentorship, my trainings be visible? So that's the first, apart from unemployment on that, creating platforms. Because when it comes to these opportunities that are being given out, they are limited. You can't take everyone in, right? And there are also sometimes call for requests have some requirements that you need to have. So most of them are not able to acquire all that. So we have to start creating platform for them, whereby, you see, like for me, it took me a lot of being instinct and then being pushing and being forceful. And I can't just understand. I mean, I was pushing myself. I went a lot of places. Did they accept me? No. I knocked a lot of doors. Did they open for me? No. But the purpose and the vision that I have, I'm like, the same thing I went through, I'm going to create it be easy for other youth that have the same mindset that I'm having. It can be easier for them to be known. There are a lot of youth that have been doing an impact work, but it's not visible. And trust me, if you can be doing a very good thing, but if you're not visible enough, we can't know about it, and it will die. So sometimes might start, someone might start something and then it just ends there, and then nobody knew about it. And I always tell them, try to do something that's bring an impact, show visibility. But then, apart from that unemployment thing, how do they use their platforms? Now, leave the visibility part that we need to have it in maybe on national, locally, whatever. The platform you already have, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, name it, TikTok. What do you post there? What do you watch? So I can't say I want to advise youth, I want to mentor youth, and you find me most of the time I'm just listening to music, or I'm doing something that doesn't bring change in my mind. So it matters a lot what you do also on the platform that you have. You can start with the platform you already have. Like for example, I had to learn all this throughout the year, and I started my Good News Talk on YouTube. What do I speak about there? I speak about mentorship trainings, because I know a lot of youth will go to the YouTube and they will see something. Maybe we can have a creation of more of this. Use the platform you're having instead of faking your life to post a nice picture on Instagram that so you can shock people. You end up shocking yourself, and you start feeling bad that, you know, how comes nobody has liked my photo? Mentality, how comes nobody has done this for me?
You're worried about the wrong thing.
Exactly, you're worried about the wrong thing. So apart from unemployment is not always an issue, because sometimes people are not being employed because of what the mentality they are having. And another thing, it's about skills. And that's the reason why I love moving throughout the universities. Why? Because the skills that students get, the way Mr. Derek said, the skills you get from school, they are very different than the ones you're going to find in the market. I learned medicine, I learned someone who has a heart disease, but when I came to reality, I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to do this thing. Things are very different. So we need to bridge that gap and say, okay, the skills that you're doing, yes, it's right. Let's increase more of the practical than theory. Theory is nice, but let us increase more of the practical part of it. If you're doing in medicine, most of the time you find schools are partnering with the hospitals, which is very fine. But what about other things? Because when it comes to finances, all you know is spreadsheet. But when you come to work, nobody's going to give you a spreadsheet. Yeah. They will give you a real problem to solve. So it all comes to us understanding the main reason what causes unemployment. Okay, you also talked about, apart from unemployment, you can see sometimes it's about family. Parents, in one way or the other, they might contribute to a failure of a child. Why? I can see myself, I am capable of doing something, but my parent will be like, no, I don't see you mounting to anywhere. You have to do medicine. In our family, nobody does business. Come on. Right now, I don't want to do business. I want to, maybe I don't want to be a doctor. I want to do business. So parents should also pitch in into the vision that the children have and support them. You don't need to make someone feel inferior. I want to do something and you discourage them. That's another thing. But also, apart from unemployment, we have to look on people surrounding you. Peer pressure matters a lot. You can never want to mount something, you have a vision and you're surrounded with people who are dragging you out. At the end of the day, they'll be draining. If you see yourself, you're in a group of 5 people who are poor, no, you need to count well. You're 6 because you're also there. Why? You're draining from the same place that other people are not mounting to yourself. So the kind of people you also surround yourself matters a lot. We have to change yourself. It's fine to be separated. It's fine to be alone. It's fine as long as you have a vision. And I always tell a lot of youth, as long as you're pursuing something, nobody will come and support you in the beginning. People like to see the outcomes. What have you produced? Yeah. If you wait people to clap for you, hands where you're starting, you're on the wrong stage. You'll never go anywhere. So I am proud of what I am doing. Even if sometimes today maybe I'll be discouraged. I'll be like, no, I was trying to create, this was very funny. I was trying to create a platform for youth. So I went to one of the hotels and then I pitched in my idea. They're like, no, Mutesi, you are a cardiac, you are an advisor. Yeah. How can you do cardiac? I was like, don't worry, I will learn about it. Why? Because I'm mentoring also youth who are doing things about hospitality. So I need to know what basically you're doing. Exactly. Yeah. See. So it all matters. Like, you cannot say I'm in this generation we are in right now. You can't say like I have nothing to do. You have hands, learn something new. You have internet, learn something new on YouTube. There are a lot of free online courses that you can add. At least make sure in a day you have some skills you're adding for yourself. At least make sure in a day there's something you've learned that will change your life. Instead, I don't mean social handles are not bad. They are very good, but how are you benefiting from them? Because someone who is making you look or what they are posting, they are benefiting. That's their business. You put data. Go look someone's lifestyle. You feel bad about yourself. You start comparing yourself. Who told you? People show you what they want you to see. Yeah. So I can't show you all my lifestyle. I want to show you, to pressure you so that you feel like you're late. So most of the youth, they put emotions ahead. And I always tell people emotions is scam. Like, if you go with your emotions, you'll lose. Like, there is nothing will ever come good out of yourself. So you need to face the reality and say, fine, I have nothing. I have graduated right now, but what can I do? You can just wake up, volunteer somewhere. A lot of youth don't want to volunteer, but me, myself, I started by volunteering. Even right now, what I'm doing is volunteering. They were like, but with your mindset, why can't you open an organization? Then I asked that one question. Okay, if I open an organization for youth, how many organizations do we have here in Rwanda that are doing the same thing about youth? Okay, why can't we think of using the mind I'm having already to help those organizations run the vision they already have? Because at the end of the day, we want youth to be empowered. Exactly. So that's the mentality of ownership. I always tell people also, ownership is very expensive. You end up having this heart disease, you end up being sick because why? You're putting yourself under pressure just to make people feel good. I have seen my friend has moved out from home, now she's renting. Now I want to also rent. I want to rent area Kimihurura, where where people come and see me. You are not yet on that stage. So sometimes the problems we put on ourselves, your salary is 500K, you're renting a house for 600K. How is it possible?
Sense,
exactly.
Yeah.
So unemployment is something we are putting it, yes, we want it to be removed, but most of the time it all starts on the root cause of the youth, that the things they're already doing right now.
Thank you for that. Back to you, Mr. Derek. As someone who has worked with young people, you continue to work with them. What skills are most urgently needed today for youth to compete as well as create opportunities?
Thank you. That's very important. And in this generation we are in, many of the youth, we are called Gen Z. So the Gen Z skills that are needed right now, mostly digital skills that can help us to solve problems easily, that can automate systems that takes much time. Because now, like as solutions we are developing, we are developing solutions that can help businesses or people save time, rather than spending a day writing on a paper or printing things. Just can do something in 10 minutes because of the digital skills and solutions that we need. So I would say digital skills, business thinking, having an entrepreneur mindset, being able to create your own opportunities, or like opportunity chasing, being able to spot an opportunity when it's not visible for many people, but having that ability to spot an opportunity and try your best to make it the best or build something from there. So there are different skills that youth really need. As I said, these skills will allow young people even to work remotely, be able to work when you're at home but earn a living, and also support organization more effectively. So I think, yeah, these opportunities are available. So as the youth, we should be able to spot them and take a good advantage of them.
Yeah, you spoke about digital skills as well as digital competencies. How important is that for the youth, especially of today? Because we have seen how the digital landscape is growing and increasing. We see AI and the use of it in various workplaces, the workplace having to integrate AI and various digital tools to their disposal, because we cannot run away from how the digitized world is catching up to us. So it's either we embrace it or it takes over. So in your opinion, are the youth or are people in general embracing it even more to use it to their advantage as opposed to fearing it?
Okay. As the youth, I would say they're doing their best in adapting to the digital skills and AI, artificial intelligence. But I would say many institutions, it's taking longer than expected to be able to understand or to adapt to the digital solutions, to the AI automations and all that. It's taking much time for them to adapt, but it's reasonable. But the time that it's taking long time, adaptability, it's a problem. So they think there should be an adjustment in that way. For the youth, I think not at a good level, but they are doing their best because many of us are learning different things using YouTube, use other resources, which are very important nowadays. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Saras, you often speak about youth as a development tool through entrepreneurship. How can governance systems better support young people or young entrepreneurs to thrive and create these jobs?
Thank you so much. Before I dive into the governance system, the younger person here talked about the culture and parents' influence. I'll give you a personal story. My late dad, because I was the eldest son in the family, he used to advise me, please, I want you, when you go to the university, I want you to become a veterinary doctor, because veterinary doctors were really charging him high, treating his cows. And also, I was like, if not, you should become a lawyer. Sorry, I really disappointed him. But
No,
because
you're good.
that was a need for him, because he wanted someone, at least his son, to be treating
His cows.
the farms, and also be a lawyer, you know, claiming his land and other titles. So parents really do influence, have influence, and sometimes which is not good for the young people, because that's why you see someone is a very good sports person, and the parent never even played badminton. So then for me, as a leader of an institution, I'll talk basically on what should be done when we are talking about this governance system and where we try to do and what should be in place for governments, for young people to enjoy, to participate, and to benefit. One, how can the governance system support young entrepreneurs? First of all, simplifying business setups. Because, you know, they are very, very passionate, very energetic. But if the systems are not correct, they will misguide them, they will disappoint them, and some of them will end up being what they never intended to be. So the government should create, simplify business setups, but also do civic education, guide them on how to achieve them. For example, how many ministries do we have in Rwanda? If we say each ministry annually can take, give paying internship for maybe, let's say, 50 young people, how many young people will be gaining knowledge mentally and practically at the ministries, but also learning from others. You know, we also have a gap of youth adult education. Some young people think they can do it by themselves, which is really bad. If you're pursuing journalism, get a prominent Rwandan journalist here, whether he's retired, get time, seek an appointment, talk to him or her for at least 40 minutes. You learn. You know, sometimes, so we need that conversation between elders and young people to guide them. Then also, there should be a provision of financial aid. Because in all what we do, thinking, I believe wherever there is a vision, there is always a provision. But also sometimes the government should do, as they invite investors, they should also have this list of younger business startups. My young brother, there are many people who want to invest in IT. There are many people who want to invest in journalism. There are many people who want to invest in fashion shows. There are many people who want to invest in entertainment. So it's up to government, because the government is always big, wide, with wide arms, to really call these investors and also stage these young people to work with these investors, hence promoting and boosting their business. Also, there's something that young people sometimes forget. Do they have, as you do advice, coaching, there's also contract protection. Sometimes you have an initiative as a young person, there comes a big investor, takes away your brand. So how do we protect their initiatives, and how do they benefit from their innovation?
Yes.
The last one, incentives. At least we should do, you know, if someone, it's very easy. The government always, because these are taxes, it's taxpayers' money, they can get like 2 buildings in Kigali, or each province, just 1 building. The government can't fail to rent or to put up that building as a free working space where young people can go, see it, free internet, and do their innovation. And even young people that want to mentor them, talk to them, they can access them from there.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you very much. Joanna, in a few words, because we're running out of time, how can we better prepare young people to step into decision-making and leadership spaces, not just at the entry level?
As I said, most of the time it's to create platform for them that they can initiate. Also, right now, we are running a project that deals with youth futures portfolio in dignified and fulfilling work. From that, we have to make sure we include them when we are doing that, because it's a research. We have to do data collection, we have to do bridging out between the youth themselves, the government, the policymaker, the researchers, because when you talk direct to me and tell me what's an issue, I'll tell you honestly that this is what I'm facing, this is the challenge I'm having right now, and how are you going to bridge it out? So you as researchers, you know, as long as there's a research, there's a problem. And as long as the problem should be fixed, you should find a solution for that. So most of the time you see the reason why youth, they don't like also participating when it comes to this policy thing, it's because most of the time, each year we always have new policy, national policy being done, but then we don't see the change of that. It's just about every day, okay, we have seen a scale of 1 to 2, but that's it's not what we are really seeing on the marketplace. It's not, we have given our problems, but we're not seeing them being solved. So we can create platform for them, and that's why I'm also selling myself here as a youth advisor. We can pitch in, because I am initiating this from different places with different youth, and then I already know the problems they're having. So how do I give a solution to them? That's why I have to move around from one organization to another. So I'm already doing it, I as a person, one person. Now imagine if we are having more, those policies that are being done, let them be implemented. Even if it's in, I don't mean like you can do it in 100% in a day. No, it takes time, but at least let's show that there's an impact. Let's involve these youth, not as tokenship. No, we are doing data collection, come and give us the information just for the purpose of statistics. No, if you're already doing it and the platform are being created, that just me being here is already an opportunity, because I am bridging out different organizations, meaning, okay, you will see what Joanna is doing right now. How can I cooperate with her to solve this issue? Imagine if all organizations that are dealing with youth right now, we come as one, because we are not competing after one another. At the end of the day, we want to bring an impact. So we have found a solution. After doing these policies, we have seen this is the problem that we are having right now. So how do we solve it as organizations, not as one person? No. Or the organization, if it's an agriculture, organization dealing with agriculture can team up and say, okay, we are solving this one. The reason why things are not coming to visibility, it's because everyone wants to show my organization is better than another. And that's another problem that I also face when it comes to proposal writing, because organizations think I have secured 10,000 USD, 1 million USD, but then they don't implement it, they still use the same system. So they have to change that. that has to be changed. We need to start now working as a cooperation. If we are doing the same thing, we should work one another. If this Governance for Africa is working on youth, maybe Iteka Youth is also dealing with youth, we come together as one, and then we write down all the problems that we have faced in our organization, essentially, when it comes to youth, and solve one by one. Because you might think you're making a progress, but at the end of the day, nothing is being done. Because even I myself, I have a group of almost 800 youth, and I always have, every Tuesday, the youth talk, telling them, teaching them, but then because still they have that mentality, you find like 6 out of 800. And ask yourself, but when you tell them, you're coming here, we are going to give you transport. We did that last year. We asked for 80, they came 150. So why? Because there's transport being given, there's things to be given, and they are coming to a nice location to show that. But if you ask them after that, what did you gain? Yes, we have collected the data, but we haven't changed them. So all that requires us to continue having the mentorship, even if we are doing these policies, but let's increase the mentorship. And that's why I'm calling organizations, I'm calling companies, let us impose this mentorship. Let us partner together, like work as one. Like one is always better than two. Yeah. I mean, two is better than one. So if you work as one, you won't see an impact that is changing. That can I say.
Thank you very much. And lastly, Mr. Eric, in a few words, as a young CEO yourself, what leadership lessons have you learned that you believe others can be able to learn, or any other young person who is listening can be able to learn from you?
Okay, thank you. Okay, one thing, leadership, it has taught me firstly, you have to have discipline and have grit or a learning spirit. Discipline, learning, and stay consistent in whatever you're doing. If it's a business you're starting, you don't have to give up. If there is any initiative, so like, nowadays, people think that you need to know everything before you start, but you don't need to know everything or have everything figured out. So if you have this idea, start it. You will get to see progress if you stay consistent, if you're disciplined enough, and have that spirit of learning. I think that is one of the things that can drive you for your initiative, for your business to be successful enough so that you can have an impact. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. And unfortunately, we've run out of time, but it was a very impactful conversation. And one thing is clear through this conversation, and those that we continue to have left, right, center, is that empowering young people is not just an act of charity. It is a strategic investment in national growth and stability, as well as innovation. Now, from governance to entrepreneurship, from global partnerships to grassroots solutions, the youth agenda must remain at the heart of development, and that is the conversation that we are striving to have, and for it to be a continuous conversation throughout. Now, my sincere gratitude and thanks to our panelists. Cyrus Ngusi, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much, Rwanda Mutesi, for being here as well.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and last but not least, Derek Eradukunda, thank you for your insights and commitment to shaping and empowering and capable and young Africans and the youth in general.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, and so to our dear viewers, let's continue the conversation. Let's continue the heart of creating, of impacting, as well as of empowering one another. And we'll see you on the next episode. Good night.